is day 300 of Zohar al Pshat. 300, Baruch Hashem. And we're on Daf Chav, we're on the Gimel base. And the paragraph begins, Yehi Meoros. It's about halfway down the page. Drop more. Yehi Meoros B'Kiyah Shemayim. Let there be luminaries in this in the firmament of the sky. The Rakia. Lo Yaretz. To illuminate on the land. Yehi Meoros Chaser. The Meoros is Chaser. It's been Mem Aleph Reish Sof. It's missing two vavs. The Mem should be written Mem Aleph Vav Reish Vav Sof. So the Rabbi Chizkiah comments. Chizkiah Mar Meoros the Shaybe Tukva Dedina. Meoros has the tokef of din, has the harshness of judgment. Kilta Dedina, which the Derech Emes says klitas v'tokef hadin. Now in the Gemara, a me'era is a curse. Tava me'era, like tava me'era to somebody XYZ. It's interesting. Reb Tzaddik in the Divrei Seifrim says tava me'era very often goes to somebody like his wife has to be motziim with brachas and things like that, or somebody who gets his parnasa to his wife. So it's a me'era. What's a me'era? So Reb Tzaddik says it's this me'era, me'oros. The me'oros chaser. The me'era is a chaser. By the way, it's the English word, moraine, ancient English. Moraine should come on somebody. It was a curse, and it seems like it seems like the words are related. A moraine is a me'era, and me'era comes from me'oros chaser. And the idea is, the way Reb Tzadok puts it, he says that Divrei Seifrim Daf Heim Base, I think it is. He says that towards the end of Simsifid Base, he says, "V'nir tam l'shem kedu divrei dosha zal me'oros chaser." It's kabarashi tayin schov zayin base masel bevi. Uvay de chisron lavana comes by the moon's capacity to be chaser. Shu chaser, and when it's chaser, when a man is chaser, mina isha, he's more chaser than a woman. Then hefech habriya, the opposite of briya, tava meirolo. So Reb Tzadok takes men and women literally here. We usually understand it as masculine and feminine, right? That the masculine is the giver, and therefore it's always giving, it's always, so to speak, whole, and the feminine is receiving, and therefore it's sometimes missing. Sometimes it has to, by definition, it's receiving. It's definitely, it's missing something. It has to be completed. So therefore it's constantly waxing and waning like the moon, growing and receding, growing and receding. It goes. It grows, and then it has to recede again in order to grow to the next level. So the always is a cyclical thing. It goes around and around. It gets mole, then it has to get chaser again in order to get mole again. Chaser again, get mole again. So the feminine is always receiving, but it always has to know that it wants to receive more. And the idea is that the masculine is constantly giving. The feminine has to be, by definition, have a chisarn. Even if it fills itself at one level, it's got on the next level it has to have a chisarn. So it's chaser. Me'oros chaser ksiv. The ma'or has to know, even though it seems to be a klola, right? It's a curse, the tabo me'ero, right? But the idea is that no, the man who's doesn't know how to make a bracha, the man who can't make a parnasa, it's like he's now chaser. He needs something to get from somewhere else, especially as it says if he has to get from his wife. But in any event, the idea is that Meoros has to be chaser in order to be able to know to receive, and in order to want to receive. So yes, from this we have also a curse, a me'era. But the idea is that the Meoros is supposed to be understand. And of course, a mar is a dangerous thing. Because if you're a luminary, so then you can be Baal Gaiva. You can say, I'm Meir. I'm Meir Lo'elam. So therefore, the Adarabba, it's good to be like the moon, and the moon knows that it has to get its hashlama from elsewhere. And that way it can constantly grow and renew and rejuvenate itself. So it's Tokaf Adin. the idea is that it has to show that it should grow, has to demonstrate the desire, the yearning. So therefore, there's din there. Let's see if you're worthy of getting. So the Tishai Batuva Dina, Kilta the Dina, as he says here, Klitas V'Tokav Adin. Rabbi Yosef Yehilim Meoros L'Tata, the Meoros below here, Il Sira, that's the moon. So it's not the Meoros refers, of course, to both the sun and the moon, but the Meoros Berkir Shamayim L'Yalarts. But the reason why it's in the Chassid is because here it refers much more to the moon, which is the light of Olam Hazeh, which is very often Chaser. The Batai Askara l'Rabbi Amma. So there's this Askara is a suffocating disease, which comes to the children of the world, and the idea is that as Zariza points out, Shemishra Mispalim B'Revila Askara Shlotipa Petinokos. It should be Askara by children. So there's if there's din to see whether you should get more or not get more, there's also din in other ways. So therefore, Wednesday is a day of din because of the idea of the moon being chaser and having to want to be shalim, and the idea of you let's see if you're worthy of the hashlama or not. Vatayam oros begin the iun nahora zutra mikol nahorim, and that day the Meoros were put in place, and its light is lesser than all lights. Zinadis chashal, sometimes it's completely dark. V'lo makabel nahora, it doesn't get light at all. So that's the moon, and the moon is b'china of Hester, and the moon, but it's also the b'china of Knesset Yisrael. Word nimshal tiyarech, and when we fall, we have to get up again. He brings down here in Reb Tzadok, he says that today is here Erev Pesach, and he brings down that there's Mora says that there was a case when the father said whoever gets the Pesach gets Yerushalayim first, he gets the first dibs on the Korban Pesach, and the girls got there first, and they nimtza bonos. I forget the lesson he brings down here. Zarizots, I think he says. Zarizots, and so he says it's a chiddush, because normally it says by the reason we don't always find b'dikas chametz for women by women is because nashim atzilos, the women are lazy. So again, he's going on men and women. We like doing on feminine and masculine, but he says it's a chiddush to the women were zrizos. But the idea is that there is an atzlos, which is the darkness, which is comes from always being receiving. We have to overcome that with zrizos, and Pesach is the time is when the moon is full on the Tesva of Nisan, because this is the time when Am Yisrael was b'chipazon yotzei mitzrayim. They're able to overcome the atzlus, which necessarily comes with shibud, and they're able to be yotzei b'tzias mitzrayim b'zrizus b'chipazon, and that's the avodah of Pesach, to transcend time, to transcend the limitations, to be like the moon in its full glory. And that's the Musar Haskell of this Zohar, is to seize that moment, to seize the capacity to be Zrizim and go out of Atzlus, and to try and find a way to take the Chisara Moros and turn it into a Maila, because we want to grow, we want to transcend, we want to elevate ourselves. Okay, this is almost at 10 minutes, so we have to stop it for today.